Hey, free comedy show, plenty of seats, plenty of tickets left, guys. Free show. Fuck's sake.
So, big night.
Look, my name is Lorne Michaels. I'm the producer of Saturday Night.
The whole night?
Yeah, the whole night.
Chevy Chase, Gilda Radner, Dan Ike, how the fuck do you pronounce this?
Ackroyd.
You know, I was thinking, why don't we punt? We should run the dress rehearsal and claw back a win next Saturday.
We can't, Dick. It's a live show.
We're just not ready.
Doesn't matter that we're ready. It matters that it's 11:30. That's when we go on.
Lauren, all I'm trying to do is give you advice. It's in everyone's best interest, mainly yours.
Sorry, was that a threat?
Look around, Lorne. You haven't locked the script. Your crew is in open rebellion.
Fuck you, fuck you.
Definitely fuck you.
The writers on the 17th floor tied a belt around Big Bird's neck and hung him from my dressing room door.
So tell me how you fit into this ensemble.
Oh, is this an ensemble?
NBC makes more money playing reruns of The Tonight Show.
NBC is lucky to have something as relevant as this show.
Lauren, they don't even want it.
That's logical, Dick. That's why they're paying us all to be here.
I mean, Lauren, 90 minutes of live television by a group of 20-year-olds who've never made anything. Do you ever stop and wonder why they said yes? A counterculture show starring total unknowns with zero narrative and even less structure.
What the fuck?
They want you to fail.
We just have to make it to air.
Am I still in the show?
Jesus Christ.
Sorry, tripped over my penis.
Cheers, hello, and welcome to the Periodic Table of Awesome. It is 2025, and we have transitioned smoothly from 2024's garbage fire to 2025's actual real fire.
Yeah,
Hi.
all the extra fire.
Not to be disparaging about anything else, but hey, we're just, it's all happening tonight. Hello, everyone, and hello to everyone in the chat. You're all there.
Welcome back, everyone.
You're all back, and lovely to see you three. I'm the fourth.
Thanks.
I was gonna say four, but I'm the fourth. So why would I say that?
Well
lovely
done.
to see Happy to see yourself.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, always the best and most comfortable thing for anyone is to listen and see themselves live. I've heard that's just what everyone thinks about all the time.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good. Did you have a nice break?
I had a wonderful break.
Did you? Great.
I had such a wonderful break that I don't want to be back.
So this is Jill's final
Jill's-
show.
Not specifically here. I just mean like reality.
Oh,
Right.
okay. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
reality
it's
is
been a
absolutely...
long week and it's only Tuesday, guys.
Reality is absolutely fucked at the moment. So sure, I fully support your wish to get out.
Pete, I saw your face look excited. So how's your break been?
Break? Is that what everyone else was doing?
No, I wasn't. No.
Yeah, see, there were two public holidays in recent weeks, Pete, and hopefully you got one of them.
I did. I got a break from work, but Christmas isn't necessarily a break when there are like children and things involved. It is beautiful, but it's not a break.
I mean, you could call it a mental break.
Just a minty bee.
Yeah, minty bee.
So no, I don't feel particularly refreshed. But I watched a movie.
Yay!
Well done.
Well, you
Yay.
all look wonderful and great, and it's lovely to see you.
I didn't get a break either because I was sick the whole fucking time.
Oh, no.
Oh no!
The worst.
So annoyed. Like
So has
there's still
that,
the tail end of it.
Has that rash cleared up yet, Quinny?
Yeah, I've got many creams for it, but the coughing just never left me.
Yeah,
And I was
you're not supposed to rub
kind
whipped
enough.
cream on it, Quinny.
It's
probably sorry.
The whipped cream only goes on one part of me.
Right. Yeah.
And I like that Jill's like, no, do not answer. Do not finish the sentence.
This is a perfect chaos moment to understand. What are we doing tonight? What are we reviewing in this?
It's Tuesday night.
And we're reviewing
Live from Sydney.
Dion Brooks.
David,
I won't do
Are
the
you not
whole
going to
thing.
dox anyone else?
No. I just sort of went, fuck.
David,
I'm not going to give
David-
everybody's last
David-
name. That's going to be a dick move, isn't it?
quite. How do you pronounce this fucking thing?
Peter Behinger. No.
Beta Bahanya no.
And
Jill.
fuck it, breathlessness. I think
All
that's
right.
much safer. We are reviewing Saturday night, not a Tuesday night.
Yeah.
The film that came out at the end of last year, directed
Yeah.
by Jason Reitman
Yeah.
and his writing partner Gil Keenan, which is fairly interesting, I thought. There's our review. Thanks for coming.
Okay.
Great. Yeah. We're
Keep them
starting.
short and sweet this year.
Yeah, 2025. That's Saturday night. 4 stars. End of story. No explanation needed. Did we change the rating
Oh, hang
system? 100%.
4 stars? Jesus Christ. Fucking hell.
No.
I didn't know that we were doing stars for a start, but then
Quinny, you got to get
That's-
this. You got to get this review down to 2 minutes, or you can't go on.
oh, ouch. The
There's-
2-minute review.
There's a little
Okay.
in joke for you. Yeah. Do you have some sort of explanation about what this is, Quinny?
Yes, I do. Oh fuck, like this film is so full of fairly good impressions of famous people,
Yes.
that I'm very, very reticent to attempt any kind of
Oh.
impression of anyone.
I'm sorry.
Hey, Casper's back.
I got distracted off the side there because I was like, I wonder if I've got any music, and I was just flicking through the music that is on preloaded there, and I'm like, Enter Sandman, maybe. Dream Lover.
I mean, I don't know. Do you have anything that just seems chaotic and terrifying?
Yeah, Eowyn singing again
Oh, Jesus Christ.
from the Lord of the Rings review. I know, stunning.
Yeah.
Totally forgot that one. There we go. It's a bit
Okay, I'll try and do it as the announcer from SNL.
Sure.
It's
Shit
all I've
accent
got.
time. Shit accent.
Yep,
time.
absolutely.
It's Saturday night, and tensions run high as producer Lorne Michaels and a ferocious troupe of young comedians and writers prepare for the first broadcast of Saturday Night Live on October 11th, 1975.
Something like that.
That was good.
Yeah, great.
There you go. Right, thanks. Shit accent time for all concerned, me especially. I haven't actually attempted to do a fun voice in 3 weeks. And I'm going, oh, that's sore.
It's great to know that this was a film about a story that happened before I was born.
Makes a nice change, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, sometimes it's good to be able to say, I don't remember the actual time that they're talking about because I wasn't even born. Ha!
Well, it's weird the things you start to get proud about as you age.
Yeah, that was a time I wasn't alive.
Yeah, stop calling me out so hard there, Peter. Ow!
Yeah, you really you got to scroll a long time to get to your year now, and you.
Oh,
you feeling
oh,
yeah.
Yeah, just me and then Count Orlok.
But if you were scrolling back to when this movie was made, it would be longer. And that makes you feel good. That's fine. Interesting review.
Yeah, what do we have to say about it? Well, it was before my time. So yeah.
Are we all SNL fans? Because I personally have never watched a full episode.
Oh,
Ever?
Never
Oh,
ever. I mean, I've
wow.
obviously watched like clipped skits, but no, I've never actually sat down and watched it in my life. Just
I have watched
FYI.
clips of skits in the past, but in the last couple of years, I've been like fully watching it, full episodes
Oh, okay, right.
every season. Yeah.
Is it still the same kind of format? The same variety show / clips / skits slash
Yeah.
bit of music.
Yeah, I gotta say the
cool.
format has not changed in the 50 fucking seasons that they've been running. It's all skits. There's a musical act every episode that does 2 performances, one in the middle and towards the end. They still have the weekend update news segment. They still
Right.
have probably the newest thing that they do now is like pre-recorded skits too. So there's interspersed between the live stuff, they'll have a few pre-recorded stuff, because usually the show's worked on for a week before they run it live on Saturday. So they'll have like the special guest hosts come in at the start of the week. They'll like prep and do run-throughs of all of the skits and stuff during the week and do any pre-recorded stuff. And then on Saturday they just run it all live.
Okay. Which, I mean, we had that here in Australia for however many years on Saturday night, a live 90+ minute.
Oh, you mean Hey It's Saturday?
Yes.
It's the same thing.
When I wear my nostalgia glasses, I fucking loved that show. But in hindsight,
when I take off these rose-colored glasses,
extremely problematic.
no fucking eyes, Jesus.
Shit, you really just went full squinty. There's nothing there.
I know, I was like,
Wow.
Yeah, we won't be doing that again. Sorry, Kat. Sorry, everybody. I regretted that immediately. But yeah, I mean, the concept of a TV show that went out live, that nobody could explain what the fuck it was. What is this thing? What is Saturday Night Live?
We're doing comedy. We're doing music. It's New York. It's the vibe. It's Marlowe.
It's avant-garde. It's new. It's something you've never seen before. Cool. What the fuck is it?
It's at a time slot that no one gives a shit about.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I am a bit like you, Pete. I've never watched a full episode of SNL. I have watched skits. I've watched the occasional like stand-up piece, and occasionally the intro monologues. But yeah, I don't think I've ever actually watched a whole show of it. And I suddenly, after watching this, went, oh no, I feel like I've missed a massive fucking cultural touchstone that I've kind of skipped. And still is nodding, telling me, yes, I have.
Yeah, I think the biggest disservice you've done to yourself is ever missing the Californians. You need to YouTube that and find out what the Californians is, because it was like probably the best series of skits they did. That was back in Bill Hader's time.
Okay. Yeah. See, my sort of awareness of it came from things like Adam Sandler and when he was doing stuff on there.
Yeah.
But I guess the thing that I find amazing about it is that it is this kind of breeding ground.
Yeah. Quinny, just before you go any further, it was the show that birthed the Ghostbusters.
I know.
And
I
it
know.
birthed the Coneheads. Like,
yes. I that's the thing. Like, it's this astonishing breeding ground of the Blues Brothers.
And like the Lonely Island.
Yeah. All of this shit that has become, these huge things came from this weird, like, I guess it's a bit like The Big Gig, or, I mean, and I'm speaking very much to our Australian audience here.
Yeah, what's The Big Gig?
A live TV show that went out on ABC on Wednesday nights, that was stand-up comedy, sketches, music, but that was your Doug Anthony All-Stars and your Gene Kitson and your Australian
Bob Down
kind of thing. Sorry, Bob Down. Yeah, lots of Bob Down.
Yeah. Look, every sort of place has a thing where it has like a show that is on that launches people because it gets people into the public eye. But this was kind of the first show that really succeeded, I think, in like the live television era, to create a place where people could start and do stuff that got people noticed, that then went on and did things that became very popular and famous, and then it's just been a recycled thing, and we've all tried to do it in other countries, or people have tried to do it in other countries and other networks. Sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't work. But like, I do think that Saturday Night Live, which again I have not seen a full fucking episode of. I watch.
Oh my god!
I watch.
Look at us.
I watch fucking TikToks on Instagram that have been
wow.
copied off a show somewhere else about skits that go live. You know, fine. But it's just launched a lot of careers, and it's been around for a long time, and so it has a successful formula. And I have to say, I think they've got like a 70-30 hit and miss ratio, and I'm going 30 hit and 70 miss. But that's what the show is. Like, that's
Says the guy who's never watched a whole episode.
That's the point. Like, I mean, I've watched a lot of clips of skits of things, but you know, sometimes I've watched them and I'm like, that was real shit. I don't know how that person's like. I still don't understand.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't
when you're
understand
doing
MacGruber.
like 20
how did that get a
episodes in a season or whatever, then I mean, it's gonna get tired.
Yeah, they can't all be Stargate SG-1 quality.
No.
And
But
they're
I do
doing it
think
in a week.
It's nice to have been able to watch this film just as watching a film, rather than really have any expectations about it, because I'm not a massive SNL fan.
Yeah.
I've read a lot of exasperated reviews online by big time SNL fans that were hoping to see something different to what they saw, because they had their own expectations, and I had no expectations. I just watched the movie. So that's where I'm coming from.
And I thought it really did a good job of getting the idea behind, like, it wasn't chaos, it's controlled chaos. It's basically like, I don't exactly know what I'm cooking, but I have as many ingredients as I can possibly cram in here. I know that some of them taste amazing and some of them will just add a little bit of flavor, but I'm unsure where they go. And then
I just need to keep them all in the pot.
Yeah. I just got to keep them here. And so that to me was a great example of creativity, which I find is somewhat sorely lacking in modern creative project, which is a little bit of leeway to sort of go a bit off the rails.
Yeah, to experiment, really.
Yeah.
I mean, in the film, you see the timetable or the schedule or whatever for the episode, and there is like everything that was thrown at it is on that board. And honestly, it was insane.
What was it? 4 hours of content for an hour show.
Yeah, it was extremely lofty aspirations for what they wanted to accomplish in one episode. So that was quite fascinating.
I get the impression that this is also kind of a bit of a collection of stories from the beginning of SNL, rather than the specific lead up to the very first episode.
I would be very surprised if that was what happened on the very first night that they ran that show, because it seemed a little bit intense.
It's actually an interesting study in storytelling based on fact, because it is, as far as I've read, based on fact, and a lot of the things actually did happen on the first night. Other things did happen, but not on the first night. So, it's a really interesting kind of study in creating an homage to a real event, using real elements of the truth, but dramatizing them, pulling them together in a way that actually allows you to tell, a cohesive, exciting story.
And I like, which are the apocryphal bits of stories that you've heard of that you go, oh, that's a good anecdote to throw in there? Like, I know that the whole thing with Jim Henson is true. That their comedy didn't gel, it wasn't working, and somebody did try and hang Big Bird on the door.
Yeah. I think a lot of it comes from real stories, interviews that they did, actual, anecdotes, even if not from the exact night.
Yeah.
And I find that really kind of fun. Like it really feels like something that the kind of stuff that really interests me, because you kind of do these interviews and you kind of collect a lot of information about, particular things when you're working in factual, and you can never really tell in factual all of the bits of information that you want to tell. But in a scripted case where you're not expected to make a documentary or be completely factual, you can pull the best bits of real stuff and make something that's not quite real, but that is still, absolutely within the spirit.
I think it likens to who the movie is about, the people that were creating this show and working on this show, and also the comedic backgrounds of the writers and the directors themselves of the film, to be able to spin a yarn about such a long institution of a comedic variety show. So if that's the kind of movie you're interested, that's kind of what you're going to get. You never really know, like, are they pulling my leg, or is this real, or is it a fabrication, is it an embellishment, but at the end of the day, it's like, oh, they told a really fun story.
Is it a shaggy dog? Yeah, probably not. There's a lot of it. I mean, do we know whether or not what's his name, Belushi, decided to fuck off and go ice skating?
Probably not specifically.
Yeah, no, we don't know that. But when you, like, one of the things that is really fun is seeing when they actually do recreate some of the sketches, and you're like, oh shit, they just went straight for it and did beat for beat the sketch.
Yeah.
Which is the thing that I wasn't sure about for a little while I was watching it. Was I watching a film with real characters, or was I watching a whole bunch of quite good impressions?
Well,
was it,
I think they did a good job with it.
Playing Dan Aykroyd, or is he doing an impression of Dan Aykroyd?
Well, he did a very good Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah, really fucking did.
I thought they did a pretty good job, because I felt like each of the characters was having their own moment. It's an actor playing another actor, having a moment, trying to get enough pathos through a through line which is carried by a anecdotal story. Like it's a weird melange of sort of shit that they just kind of threw it there, and it kind of worked for me, because I was like, I can see Chevy Chase's disappointment. I can see his arrogance and chutzpah kind of thing. I could see Billy Crystal's disappointment. I could see
Billy Crystal.
People just trying to throw shit, and and they did a good job of that, of creating what the characters were going through, or what the cast was going through, or the people even around them watching it. And so I actually kind of went, oh, this is an interesting take on it. It made me feel like I was there, standing in the sidelines in the dark, just watching it, going, I'm just holding this script, and god damn it, I hope no one asks me for anything, because no one will believe me. So that kind of felt like I was like, great. And it felt like good. I got the vibe of chaotic live show stress.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah. And like the 24 format was like ratcheting up the anxiety as the night was progressing, and wait for Jack Bauer to burst out of the wings and disarm a bomb or something.
Yeah, the counting clock also completely fucked with me at one point, because I thought that they were on at 11, not 11:30.
Oh.
At one point, they were very casual about 2 minutes before they were going to go on, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And then I went, oh, 11:30. Okay, right. Jesus Christ.
I felt like,
they're doing their sound checks for one of the musical acts, and I liked that even the musical act felt a bit like the musical act in an SNL episode. Like the music, like the shows, the movie stops for it, they play their song, and it's a banger.
Yeah,
and you're
great.
like, fuck yeah, sweet. Okay, back on with the drama. And I'm like, oh wow,
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
like it's interesting that the film itself has a structure that feels a bit like an episode.
Yes.
And each of the little moments in it are actually sketches. They're vignettes. They're, beats.
Yeah.
But it all adds up to one sort of, what was the phrase you just used? Melange?
Sure. Or some blancmange of creative juices. There we go. Does that help? No, it doesn't. no one wants that. Did you enjoy all of the characters? Did you like all of the impersonations, going back to the actors doing impersonations of people who are quite famous? Did you believe all of them? And did you learn anything about any of the people that we know? Because, it's actors playing actors.
Yeah, I mean, I think the comedians that I'm only really familiar with was Billy Crystal and Chevy Chase and Dan Aykroyd and Belushi. Like, that was kind of the only ones I really knew. Like the female comedians, unfortunately, I was just not familiar with.
Yeah,
I'm glad you mentioned that.
George Carlin.
Oh, yeah. Look, he's way before my time. So I'm like, I've heard of George Carlin, but I don't know anything about him or what he's like.
You would love his shit because he does like his stuff was essentially, anti-capitalist socialist propaganda humor back, but it was angry and fucking funny, and I love his shit. And the guy who did him here, I was like, that's pretty fucking good. Pretty good George Carlin, but also that feeling of like he doesn't know what he's there for. And I liked that was what you said before, Dion, about this feeling a bit like being in the wings and looking out from the dark into the thing while shit's happening. That really hit me because I was like, fuck, I have done so many live shows that felt like this, for 15 fucking years of however many nights we did a Friday night preview night where nobody knew what the fuck was going on. Are we doing a sketch? Is there a musical number? Where's the person? I don't fucking know. Let's just do the thing. And I felt this in my very fucking soul.
That's why you're bald.
It's
from stress.
Really
it's
is.
also that sense of calm chaos too, where like it's absolutely chaotic, but at the same time everybody's doing their fucking job. And that's how, when it ticks over to time and, you go to where you go to where.
Yeah.
Despite whatever has happened.
Yeah, you just have to, and you just have to plow through. You just have to make hard decisions. You just have to keep going. You just have to get it in the can. I understand that whole thing completely. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
But the trick is just keep moving.
Yeah, just keep going.
If the thing doesn't work, just keep fucking moving.
Get the train.
The next will.
Get the train to the station. That's it. That's the only thing.
And of course, I also know Lorne Michaels because he still runs the show to this day.
Yeah.
He's still doing it, is he?
He still runs the show. Yeah, he's the boss.
Yeah.
Yep.
He had all the skits go through him, as in like, nah, yep.
What did we think of the relationship between him and his wife?
Interesting.
Well, it was the 70s, Quinny.
Yeah.
it's like, and as we all know, and as every good producer and anyone involved in those things, actors just need a good stroking of their ego.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it was pretty cool because he was like very respectful of her being a career woman and like, what name do you want to put on the thing? Like, do you want to stand out there on your own and say it's me, or do you want to be associated with me and like maybe take some of the shine off what you're doing? Like, I thought it was interesting that the narrative throughout the whole thing was him asking his wife what surname she wanted to be credited with.
Yeah. And also establishing that it isn't just someone doing it on their own.
Yeah.
Like there is definitely a partnership and a bunch of people involved in this, and they're all equally valid. Which is good to have a bit of that.
But does she want to be credited as the woman that is like working in production, or does she want to be his wife?
And then that comes with the balance of where are they at in their relationship? Is it really a marriage? Or at one point she says, when we're doing this, I'm not his wife, I'm the writer. And that, how do you feel about that relationship at that point? Which means that the question of how you're credited suddenly has a different meaning too. And I was like, fuck, there's there's a lot of layers of meaning going on in this film, which I was
Yeah.
pleasantly surprised by.
Yeah. And a lot of the chaos, again, that keeps coming back in, like hiring that writer in a bar.
Yeah.
When
and
you're
also
having,
that it happened in the same hour that they're also trying to put a show together.
having a mild panic attack, decide to go to a bar. I just need to get away for a second. Fine, you're hired. It's like, great. Okay. Hopefully that's a real anecdote, but we don't know, and you don't really have to particularly care.
No.
I liked everyone. It was a great ensemble
Did
cast.
we feel like
Sorry?
Yeah, do we feel like the female characters got their dues? Because I did have a bit of a thought that I felt like we were focusing a lot on going to shit. I can tell.
Yeah.
Yep. There it is. We're focusing a lot on the male characters, but like, do we feel like, Gilda and everybody were being fleshed out effectively?
I think there was equal focus. I think it's just that everyone's more familiar with the male comedians. Honestly, I really liked the scene where all the girls were doing the catcalling to Dan Aykroyd, and he was feeling very uncomfortable about it.
Yeah. Have you seen the sketch?
Not the original, no.
It's virtually word for word.
Amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, except the lead female is oh God, I can't think of a fucking name. But she used to do the thing on Sesame Street where she was on a giant chair.
Is it Gilda Radner?
No, not Gilda Radner.
Rosie Schuster?
No. I'm going to remember it eventually, and then I'm going to scream it into the ether, and everyone's going to go, "What?"
Yeah. Someone can look up. We'll just rattle names off. It's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, on Quinny's question, I really enjoyed the character of Rosie, and I was interested to see her being portrayed as having such a pivotal role next to Lorne Michaels in the creation and running of the show and what was going on. So in that regard, I did I wasn't feeling like the female characters weren't getting their dues, because I was actually really interested in her as a character and kind of seeing some of that interaction and chemistry and her kind of seeming to be the very kind of cool-headed one in most of the situations, and she seemed like was quite like a cool character, and I've obviously heard of Lorne Michaels many times, but I've never heard of Rosie Schuster, so I learned something in regard to some of the pieces that built this massive thing, that some names that I didn't know before. So I kind of quite like that element of it, and from what I've read, all of that stuff has come from their research, like their genuine research into how all of this came about, by talking to the people that. So that's a choice that they've made to actually to give that female character an appropriate, they could have just focused on Lorne Michaels, and they didn't. I've lost all of my words. Wow, it really has been a few weeks since we've done this. What?
It's been a while, hasn't it? Yeah.
What is vocabulary?
What are sentences?
So the actress was Lily Tomlin.
Yes. That's the actress that you're trying to think of with the.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I'm like, that's not Lily
That's not Lily Tomlin.
No.
You were thinking of Lily Tomlin.
Yeah, because I was trying to think it was Lily Tomlin who was the lead in that sketch.
Right. Okay.
And is not in this one, like in the film version. So I don't know why they've chosen to not use Lily.
Maybe she didn't want to be mentioned
It's a
in it.
distinct possibility.
Yeah.
Which I did find interesting. Like, so the director of this is, of course, Jason Reitman. So thinking about why or how somebody would make this story, I thought was interesting, because I was like, okay, why? And it's because he grew up around this shit. he's the son of Ivan Reitman, who directed Ghostbusters. So the people that he was growing up looking up to were Dan Aykroyd and all of those kind of people. So this is essentially him going, I want to tell the story of my people.
Yeah.
Which I thought was pretty cool. Like if you have that opportunity, why wouldn't you want to tell that kind of story?
Yeah, for sure.
And I think he does it well. I think he does it really well.
Yeah, I liked it. Shall we watch a
Are we
clip
gonna-
and rate it?
Yes.
Sure. We'll just go
Which
backwards.
order do we do
Usually
that
we go the rating and then the clip, but
Okay.
the spoilers. But no, we're going to do the clip this time round. They're going to
Let's
talk
do
about.
it.
They're going to talk
Whatever.
about. Look, I've got 2 clips here, but one of them I don't want to do.
Why does it have a penis in it?
No, it doesn't. See, frustratingly, it does not. It clips off before the whole penis thing. So let's do togas, which
Right.
there might be a hint of peen. Let's give it a crack.
We need everyone in togas. Everyone down to the 8th floor now.
Rocky, there's no way these kids are going to hit their mark, so you better be wide enough to catch them all. We got that? Okay, be aware.
What is this? Why are you queuing up Carson? Who is that?
I think that's Tony Curtis. That's pretty normal right before a live show, right, Dave?
Yeah, if anything goes wrong, we bump the tape.
See? Right.
If there's something goes wrong, you bump to tape.
And
Apparently.
it took me half the film to work out who that was. So that's Robert Wall, who was the reporter in the original Batman.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
like,
right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I kept looking at him going, why do I know that guy's face? Fuck, it's that guy. Yes.
Yeah,
You
look,
know.
it's fine. Like it's an interest. Like some of this Saturday night, I think is very niche. As in, this is a show about people putting on a show that's a kind of a niche audience, late night. That some people don't like the comedy of it. You know, Saturday night isn't for everyone. Or Saturday Night Live, sorry, isn't for everyone. Sometimes I've watched some of it and I'm like, how does this person exist? I don't understand.
Oh, and like it's definitely not without its controversy either.
Yeah.
Or, you know, people
Sure.
wanting to protest the show or whatever.
But of course,
and
you
I
can't
got to
have a-
say that, like, one of the most recent ones, they had a very questionable guest who did a very awful monologue. And yeah, it was a pity that they had him on the show.
Was that the one straight after the election?
It was the Bill Burr one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the one straight after the election, and everyone was like,
yeah.
Fucking what?
As I said, you know, earlier, Saturday Night Live is a very hit and miss, 70-30 kind of
Sure.
crack at stuff, and it's been going for 50 years. So, you know, you've got to kind of you take the good with the bad, and sometimes is it worth breaking the ground all these years? Maybe not, but it's a nice little love letter, I think, for 50 years worth of shows. Like, here's where it all started, and it was nuts, and hopefully it's still the same and hasn't gotten, you know, kind of boring and trite, and, you know, this is the formula. We apply the formula. Do you want to be a big star? Get on Saturday Night Live, then become a comedian, then get your own series.
Well, you gotta go through Second City and become a well-known comedian who
Stand
does
up in the local
improv.
scene, yep.
And then if you're successful in Second City, then you might get a spot on SNL. Do enough SNL, you maybe get a spin-off series. Maybe you get a movie. Maybe then you'll get famous. Who knows? Blah, blah, blah. Let's go.
Or maybe if you're really good, you just stay on the show for years and years and years, like Kenan Thompson, and never leave.
Yeah.
True.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah. Or you'll realize that maybe SNL was your perfect thing, and then you do leave and you go, screw those guys, I'm going to be famous. Oh dear. Now I'm not.
Yeah.
Oh well. Welcome to the fickle life of
Yes.
entertainment. That's entertainment. Should we do ratings? What do you think?
Yeah.
We're doing I was asking the question. I haven't actually spoken to anyone. We're going to stick with the 100. Why not? We're going to do percentage. We want
Yeah,
to switch.
why would we change it now?
Let's just do it.
I mean, let's completely change our entire rating system on a whim, Dion.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's a question.
Yeah,
It's not a
without talking to anyone.
it's not a
I think-
dictatorship until
I
January
think we should
January
rate
20th, and then that's when the rules start getting handed down.
Okay. I'm going to kick us off.
Well, tonight on a rating of
tape.
sticky tape to scissors. Well, like, kidding.
This podcast is rapidly hitting 70-30.
Yeah. Tempted to give this one a 70.
Ouch.
I'm going to give it a 78. I enjoyed moments of it. It was interesting to see the narrative of like a group of people that are still alive and a show that is still being produced. But there was the chaos for me was just a little bit too out of hand. And I think maybe some of the narrative was being lost amongst all of the, hey, look at this fun thing. Oh, remember when we did this fun thing? Oh, and there was also this other thing. And yeah. And then
And they're still laying bricks.
yeah, and oh my god, and like 5 seconds till we're live and you put the last brick in the floor. Like, yeah.
Apparently, they
Intense.
did finish laying the bricks only a couple of hours before, but not 5 seconds
hours.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a tense movie. I enjoyed it though. Yeah.
Nice. Dion, go on.
75. It came out in 1975. You get 75 marks out of 100 for this. It's a little bit niche, but it was fun and interesting and did make me nostalgic for the chaos of live shows. But do I want that stress anymore? No, not in my life. No, thank you. I've had my time with that.
Come on.
Very rarely.
Come on.
No, I don't need it.
The
Don't need it.
adrenaline, the uncertainty.
The uncertainty, the crash afterwards, the absolutely unable to do anything. Yes.
Okay,
Sure.
Fine.
Yes. So also, you know, I don't really watch Saturday Night Live. I like watching some of the skits that are funny, but I don't go out of my way to do it. And it's very American. I'd rather watch the Muppet Show.
That's not American at all.
That's my kind of speed of like late night entertainment.
I did see a skit recently, which I'm pretty sure was an SNL skit. Either that or it was Keenan and Kel, where the
That
two,
was on SNL. I saw
I
you
thought so.
liked
I
that
thought
on Instagram today, Quinny, and I also enjoyed that video.
yeah, where they're the bouncers in the Muppet Show. So the Muppet Show hires new bouncers, and the two hecklers, Statler and Waldorf, then come into problems with being told to actually sit down and shut up. It was great. It was very fun. I liked it.
Cool. Can you message that to
Cream
me?
of the Dragon.
Can you,
Cream of the Dragon, yeah.
Can you message that to me on Instagram so that I can do that
Yeah,
before we move on to a different thing? Blue Sky me. There we go. Send me the clip on
Okay.
Blue Sky Social.
I will do that. Pete, do you want to go first or shall I?
I'll go first. I'm going to give it an 82.
No?
I liked the storytelling in general. Like, I like that it's, you know, it's spinning a tale, but that it was actually, you know, quite well researched in its intention to spin a tale out of elements of the reality, but still in a way that is you know, a kind of a fun, exciting watch, and you know, the kind of, you know, real-time feeling of it, the you know, the cinematography and the way it kind of, you know, felt, again, much like we said with the Trump movie, it, you know, it feels a little bit like you're watching a documentary about it, because it's shot in a way that feels like it's of the time. All of those elements I kind of really enjoyed. You know, so yeah, I didn't like, you know, I don't, and also I don't care about Saturday Night Live, so I'm really only in it for the storytelling, and that worked for me.
Nice. Thank you actually for mentioning that feeling that it was shot like it was a 70s film. Like, it felt that dirty, gritty, grimy 1970s New York, but also with the right kind of film grain and it felt like an artifact of its time, and it's almost that fly on the wall documentary, but not quite. Which, yeah, I really dug it. And yeah, for a whole bunch of reasons. I mean, because of being involved in live production, you know, it made me nostalgic, but at the same time, that feeling of you're watching something magical being born, and it's only through sheer bloody mindedness and refusal to stop that a thing finally is allowed to happen. And I really enjoyed that. There's a sort of frustrated artist part of me that just goes, fuck yes. You know, there's a speech that Lorne gives at one point in time where he's talking about what is Saturday Night Live, you know, and when he finally kind of defines it or attempts to define it, you go, oh yeah, right. I kind of get that. And I don't want to say it to you because, like, it's kind of the point of the film. So it'd be a little bit like saying, hey, here's the ending. But for that alone, if you're ever not sure about what Saturday Night Live is meant to be about and what it is, that speech is really cool, and I liked it. Yeah, it's an 85 for me. I thought it really tickled me, and some great performances. I think Corey Michael Smith, who we interviewed a very long time ago on this very same podcast, does a really good job of being the dick that is Chevy Chase.
Yes. Very smart.
And there are a few times I honestly was watching the guy who played Belushi thinking, holy fuck.
Yeah.
Like they could have brought Belushi back from the dead for that. It was uncanny.
It was well cast. It was really well cast. Oh, the Billy Crystal story is pretty close to fact, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
Oh,
yeah.
I also like a little anecdote that Nicholas Braun, he played both Andy Kaufman and Jim Henson.
Yeah.
So did both of those roles. That was great. It's like, we need a tall, quirky guy. There you go.
Wow.
Saves it, yeah.
Okay, that's very impressive because the whole fucking Andy Kaufman bit too, where you're just like, that guy's a fucking weirdo.
Yeah, well, that's what he was. Yeah, he's just a weirdo that America loved.
Yeah, man on the moon.
And you can watch it now on streaming. It was in cinemas. You can still see it in some cinemas, but you can also watch it on Amazon Prime or Apple or Google.
Yep.
So you can go out there and see it. It makes for a really good 90 minutes.
Yeah, no, it's a good like Friday night pizza night movie.
Yeah,
you know,
except you should be watching
one of those for a while. Actually,
you should be watching it on Saturday night, shouldn't you?
No, Saturday night is when you guys are going to be watching SNL.
Well, or Sunday midday by the time we get it.
Yeah, that's true.
Sunday midday. Sunday midday night. Wait, what?
It's Sunday midday.
I know it's usually up on binge by about Monday.
Okay, right. Okay. Excellent. Yeah, look, check it out. It's great.
Yeah.
So, what else did we do in our holidays?
Oh, that wasn't where I was expecting this to go at all.
Really?
No. What do we do on our holidays? No.
I did Sweet FA.
Have you watched anything?
Yeah. Oh, I watched stuff that we're going to talk about later in the month. So I don't know if I should mention it now. But yeah, I did watch Squid Game.
Oh, I
haven't finished it
only
yet.
3 episodes into Squid Game season 2.
Could not stop. Couldn't put it down. Had to keep going.
Like an episode and a half in, I've really got to get cracking on that one.
Speaking of the shows of stuff, though, what are we doing next week? Out of curiosity.
Well, I love that.
Some more S content.
Super sexy contents. It is the year of the snake.
For Year of the Snake, we're doing Shrinking and Silo season 2.
Yeah.
Yep.
And well, Saturday night, but we've already done that.
I finally finished Shrinking season 2.
Yeah,
so
me too. I love that show.
That's one. I haven't started Silo season 2, and I'm
Me
somewhere showing Squid Game somehow.
season 2.
And I've been watching Skeleton Crew.
Oh, what's a
Skeletons.
skeleton?
And then a Severance season 2 isn't out yet, is it?
No, a little bit later this month.
Yeah,
in
that's
about
right.
Later this
3
week.
days. I was going to say about 3 days. Fuck. Yes, which is very exciting. I wanted to say I'd watched something that I wasn't expecting to watch and doesn't fit in our S thing at all. So I'm going to tell you about it because I think it's worth talking about because it was all made here in Australia. Better Man, the Robbie Williams.
That weird thing
you
where he's
watched
an
that?
ape.
I haven't seen
I watched that.
What was that all about?
So basically, it's a pretty standard biopic. Sorry, biopic. So I know some people really fucking hate it when they're called biopics.
Don't be so myopic about it.
Yeah. It's basically it's Robbie Williams' life story from, childhood to where he's at now, through a lot of drugs, like a fuck ton of drugs, and through his years with Take That and where he left them and all that kind of stuff. But he has always seen himself as essentially a bit of a performing monkey and a cheeky monkey.
Oh, okay.
And so that was what he said to the director, that he said, I've always seen myself this way, so why don't we do it? Because, if we just do a biopic with somebody playing me, it's not gonna, we've done that. We've got Rocket Man, we've got Bohemian Rhapsody, there's fucking the Timothée Chalamet coming out with Bob Dylan sometime soon.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
There's no shortage of biopics. So why don't we do something different? And yeah, it was all shot here in Australia, mostly in and around Melbourne. It's actually fucking great. I had a really good time with it.
And plus, they've also got all the rigs from the Planet of the Apes movies.
Yeah.
Because they shot one of them here.
Yes,
Oh.
absolutely.
The latest one.
Is all of the ape content Australian based now? What's going on there?
Yeah, well, the Gladiator 2 chimpanzee baboon fight was shot in Australia. I don't know. That's just fact check me, Zuckerberg. I dare you.
I didn't even realize that had been released. So they're not doing a great job of the old publicity there.
Well, I mean, he did sing at New Year's Eve, and promoted the movie fairly heavily.
Yes,
Peter, you're just a shut-in girl.
Well, no. I was in the wrong time zone for most of that, and then by the time I got into the right time zone, he was finishing up.
Right.
But, but also, Robbie Williams isn't really finger on the pulse, zeitgeist-worthy content, is he? I don't know. I don't mind his music sometimes.
He's got a pretty big following in, I'd probably say the 50-plus women demographic.
Hey, whoa, Jill. Let's not age out people getting towards the 50-plus demographic. I was still asking that,
I'm just saying, cusp boomers are really into Robbie Williams.
Oh, ow.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a cusp boomer.
50-plus, Dion, not 50 under.
Oh, it's too close. Yeah, I kind of saw that. Robbie Williams is getting a biopic? Really?
Yeah. It's a weird concept. There's no question about it. It's a strange concept, but it's got some pretty fucking spectacular dance numbers. It looks great. At about 10 minutes in, I'd honestly forgotten that he was a digital monkey. Which is a weird thing to say. Not gonna lie. But yeah, Michael Gracie is the director, and it's like, if you like Rocket Man, I say it's sort of up there with that. The difference being that the music is more about, it's obviously Take That from Robbie Williams and stuff like that. So if you like his songs, there's some good songs in there. If you don't like his songs, you're shit out of luck. But I was emotionally affected by it, which once again wasn't expecting to be emotionally impacted by a fucking monkey.
So you mentioned the music. Do they do it musical style like Rocketman was?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So there are musical numbers that
Okay.
kind of stop the show, and yeah.
Okay.
I think perhaps the problem it has, unlike Rocketman, he doesn't have as many hits to choose from. Like,
Oh.
he's got some really good songs, but like Rocketman felt like it was like every 2 seconds, here's another Elton John hit that you know.
Well, I guess Elton's had a longer career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah. So this one, they're a little less in the way of perhaps big bangers, but at the same time, when they hit hard. And there's a fucking weird sequence towards the end where throughout the whole thing, he's been dealing with panic attacks, which are kind of represented by these different versions of himself showing up in the audience. And they're these leering, terrifying, angry apes. And somewhere at some point, it just turns into a weird ass fucking monkey battle. Like, so at Nebworth, where he was the headliner in whatever year it was, instead of it being, like the end of Bohemian Rhapsody, where they literally just recreated that iconic set, this one, they do it one number, but it's a giant monkey fight, and it's so fucking weird.
Okay.
Look, when it comes to streaming, give it a go. I'd say if you even remotely like Robbie Williams, go and watch it in a movie, in a cinema. But if you'll get past the monkey thing.
Okay.
Who else has been watching stuff? Other stuff?
What else have I watched?
Nothing. I was
I
destroyed.
did watch Gladiator 2.
I was just destroyed after the giant Nosferatu dong.
Oh, yes.
And then I didn't watch anything.
I watched the US remake of Blade, which is, watchable. Although if you haven't actually seen the original Australian version, I would watch that first.
Right.
Okay.
Did not know that was a thing.
I watched the Doctor Who Christmas special.
Yeah. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, it didn't really feel Christmassy until like the last 5 seconds where you're kind of like, oh, well.
Wait, who's the Doctor these days? I've totally...
Yeah, it's Shruti Gatwa from...
Shruti Gatwa, okay. Still the Doctor. It hasn't
Sex
changed.
Education. No, he's still the Doctor.
Just checking. Just double
Yeah.
checking. I'm just out of it.
Not there for a while yet.
Yeah.
And this was good. It was another Stephen Moffat episode, which you can tell he loves.
Yeah.
Clever little writing things where he'll write himself time loop and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, very good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that a lot.
Yes. I'm just waiting. Like, I'm trying to catch up, sort of thinking about what's coming out recently, and there's not much. The Wolfman, I think, is out this week. And then, and then there's a few things next month that are coming out, including one that I want to see, The Gorge. So that should be interesting. But that's on Apple, and that's a movie.
Okay.
And then Captain America: Brave New World comes out next week.
It does.
Next month, sorry.
Next month.
Month, sorry, month.
In exactly a month.
Plus a couple of other interesting ones that are out there. But there is a few things on the slate. It's an interesting start to 2025.
Karina just mentioned Flow, the animated film, that I think won the Golden Globes for Best Animation.
Okay.
I've had a look at it. It's beautiful. It's this weird French-Danish animated film about a cat that is, really stunning visually. I also watched Moana 2. Yep.
Yep. I think we talked about that just before.
Oh, we did too,
Yeah,
didn't
we
we?
did.
Yeah. And I'm like, what's been going on?
Yeah.
Actually, the thing I did more of it than anything else, I rewatched all of Andor season 1.
Oh.
Fuck, that show is good.
Yeah.
But you didn't watch Parks and Rec.
You have time to rewatch things.
Or the sound of Sound of Music.
Rewatch something.
Oh no. I really didn't. Oh, no.
I know there's probably some replica out there. I just don't understand why we have yet to get a brick from Andor. Like, you need one of the bricks as a collectible because this feels like the right kind of the year.
You have a plastic problem, Dion.
No, like a real brick. Look, fuck that. If Supreme, that brand, can release a brick with their logo on it and charge fucking $900 for it, Disney can make some money off, getting a Rebellion brick.
Would you have a clay one and with some kind of Orbesh stamp?
Yeah. Make mold of it and just hand them out at protests, at inevitable protests that are coming up this year,
and have them smack people around the head with.
Sure, if they're fascists, yeah, why not?
Remember how last year I said that I have really gotten into wrestling, WWE?
Yeah.
They have now moved to Netflix. So if anybody was ever thinking about giving it a go, it is so much more accessible now. And I think if you do want to dive in, definitely watch the January 6th episode of Raw, which was the first one for the season, because it's a good little taster of what it's like. It was a very big production show. I'm looking forward to watching the second week's episode tomorrow because it's out now, but I can't watch it just yet. But the good thing about it being on Netflix now is that we do get it live.
Right.
So yeah, it's usually at midday on a Tuesday, which is their Monday night in the States. So
Monday Night Raw, right?
Yeah. And also Netflix, now that Binge/Foxtel no longer have the WWE contract, Netflix now has a lot of back catalog content, so you can go and watch old WrestleManias, old Rumbles, like old stuff from like the 90s, the Attitude Era, if you want to go and get a little bit of a taste of it. They've even got packages, like smaller clip shows that they've compiled of tasters for what has happened through the decades. If you really want to get into wrestling now,
I feel like that's a good thing. Like, I mean, if they curated, select episodes of Star Trek in that same sort of way as watch this one, and this one, and this one from this season, great. And it sounds like that's what they're doing for the wrestling. Is I know there's a bunch of shit, but watch these ones.
Yeah. You can go into the whole tab in Netflix, and then there's playlists.
Nice.
There's heaps of stuff to choose from.
Can I just watch the bit where Hulk Hogan goes out on stage in California and gets booed for 10?
Oh my God, it was so funny. And then they had a post show where they were talking about that. And he's like, no, man, I didn't get booed. He was completely in denial about being booed.
That's how they work, isn't it?
But also it's interesting that these legacy characters, even though they are problematic these days, they still keep trotting it back out.
Yeah. And it's interesting because the idea of people getting booed, if you're a heel, that's what you expect. Everybody expects to walk out and go, oh, we hate you. But I kind of got the feeling that everyone was he's walking out as Hulk Hogan, with the 24-inch pythons, brother. And everybody's expecting, oh, he's going to be the face. And the audience was just no, we don't fucking like you.
He's very right-wing and very outspoken about his views, and nobody likes him anymore.
Yeah, you're in the wrong fucking state, bro.
Yeah.
Dude.
Even late last year on one of the PLEs, they had Jesse Ventura commentating, and he felt about this far away from saying that something that would get him cancelled. I'm well, I hope they won't be bringing him back anytime soon.
I've only ever loved Jesse Ventura from the behind the scenes footage on Predator.
I could be a cowboy or an astronaut.
Have you ever seen them, Jill?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, it's fucking amazing.
I have range.
There's a hidden thing back in the day of DVD menus where you'd go up to this thing and then a cross, and then it'd light up a Predator laser thing. And it was an interview with Jesse Ventura where he's explaining what he was going to do after Predator.
Oh no!
And he's such an idiot.
Making the transition. Thinks that I have range. I could play an astronaut or a cowboy. It's very funny. Also, you can look up the "Don't Drink the Water in Mexico" that story. That's also quite fun. Anyway, Predator, things. Side notes. It's great.
Anyway, wrestling on Netflix.
yeah.
Go and check it out. Come and chat to me about wrestling.
Yeah, Jill desperately wants some wrestling fans and friends.
Jill's down for it. That's been great. So can't wait to get stuck into that. As I can tell, Peter and Quinny are going to get into the wrestling on Netflix.
We're all going to watch Rumble together.
Oh,
month.
yeah.
Oh, actually, that reminds me of something I haven't watched. I still haven't watched Aquaman 2.
Don't watch that. Let's all get to
universe now.
Let's get together and watch the Rumble, guys.
I was lamenting, Jill, that I did not, because I was working, I did not have any alcohol to celebrate New Year's. But maybe I'll have a celebratory 2025 tipple for watching Aquaman 2.
And then the Rumble.
Yeah,
John Cena's going to be in the Rumble, guys. This is his last year.
I heard he didn't show up.
Oh.
But what about The Rock? Isn't The Rock coming back?
No. Okay, so The Rock has officially nipped his storyline in the bud. He was doing like a final boss thing, but now that he's actually the high chief of Samoa, I think he's kind of got to wind back the stuff that he was doing with the WWE.
Jeez, okay, fair enough.
I didn't realize he was the high chief of Samoa.
Yeah, he's crowned high chief. I'm trying to remember his name now. He was gifted a name.
Rocky Maivia, but
that's not his.
Oh, and the
biological
Paddington movie.
surname anyway.
Right, okay. The Wild Robot Paddington movie. There's a bunch of stuff out there to watch. We should do that. But go get into your sexy sleepwear somewhat. I don't know. There's too many S's and I don't have a synonym dictionary next to me. Go and watch all that stuff that we put on the thing. So you got Silo, Squid Game, and what's the other one?
Skeleton Crew.
No, not Skeleton Crew. No, the next week.
I don't know. What are we doing next
Silo,
week?
Squid Game, and
Shrinking.
And Shrinking.
The next
yes,
week.
the season 2s.
So we're not doing Skeleton Crew?
Not to the week after.
Oh, that's the week after, right?
Fuck's
okay,
sake, Quinny. Read your email.
Email?
Yeah.
Ears.
Read those carrier pigeon messages I sent you.
And also, I'm too busy watching Parks and Rec and stuff.
And also, if you have suggestions, there we go. Suggestions for February. Let us know if there's something you want us to talk about. Also, if you've seen something that's cool, that'd be good.
Yeah.
Shoot us off a message.
Yes, it's a brand new year. We could do things however we want. So tell us what you want and what you want us to talk about, and we'll try and fit it into our schedule.
Sure. Amazing. We love it. That's great.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Yes, happy 2025. I mean, so far it hasn't started particularly well for a lot of people.
America's not doing great.
No.
But,
I can't believe the size of the fires, but...
Yeah. And I do want to say a shout out to all the people that are being affected by those fires, because there's a lot of celebrities, yes, but there's a lot of just fucking random Joes who are being, completely fucked over by fire and by, winds and insurance and all sorts of terrible things.
Yeah, there's this sweet young guy that I follow on YouTube, and his channel is Benji Plant, and all he does is talk about his beautiful little plants in his pretty little apartment with his tiny little chihuahua and his cute boyfriend and their new cat. And unfortunately, they lost their house, and it's been really sad to watch his video. And they actually went back and saw the ruins, managed to rescue some stuff that wasn't entirely destroyed, but yeah, if anybody you follow has lost their home in the fire, it's 10,000 acres plus of suburbs that have been completely flattened. It's not just the celebrities up in the hills. And if you can donate to anybody that has lost literally everything except a suitcase of stuff that they ran out of the house with, please support them.
And on that note as well, for donating, just be cautious about who you're donating to, because there's a lot of scams. Another S thing that's happening at the moment out of there is a lot of
make sure the link is from the person so that you actually follow and you're aware of who they are and their situation.
A lot
and
of
all that kind
predatory
stuff.
behavior, so let's not go for that one without double checking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Nasty.
Happy 2025.
Yes. Sorry, I brought the mood down.
Oh, well, look, if it wasn't there, the bushfires would be bloody here. So,
True.
be thankful.
Let's start out. Okay, cool. We're gonna see you all next week. Unless Quinny, you got someone to raid. If you got through that, is there anyone there? Is there anybody else?
See if we can raid Barjo if he's around. Yes, he appears to be doing that thing.
All right. We'll
now,
see you all next week. Okay.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
I wanna live in a world full of heroes, not sit here counting zeros in a cubicle downtown. I wanna look out my window, see 'em flying, and swing across the horizon as I cheer 'em on so proud. Deep-powered girl keeps staring at her face, and call Colossus and have 'em teach me ways, and then we'd exercise. I'd be one of the guys. When martial arts from iron fist and wall, I'll dance her up and teach her all my songs. Oh, I wanna live in a world full of heroes, not cooking up these heroes at my parents' restaurant now. I wanna yell out Avengers assemble, not order up for Ethel. Yeah, we're out of cheeky now. Date Emma Frost and have her read my mind. Or Magdalena, her artifacts I find, and then we catch a symphony. It'll just be her and me. Call Bucky Barnes and arm wrestle for